Welcome in and welcome back to the Down South Philly Show, brought to you by Sports Lounge Media. Hold on, let me make sure. Can y'all hear me in the chat? What's going on, Bagel? I know. My daughter had practice, and um, but can y'all hear me in the chat? Man, we got a lot to talk about. It was a lot going on this week. From free agency. Actually, this is the second week, second week of free agency. We had a few moves. You know, Howie's still busy. Just in case you was wondering, this is still Howie season. Um, Quality a bit poor. Yeah, I'm not. I don't have my mics tonight, Bagel. I don't have my usual mic. I'm using my AirPod tonight. But I didn't want to miss my showtime, so we here. We here. How you been? I ain't seen you in. I feel like I ain't seen you in here since the Super Bowl. Really? What you been up to? But yeah, we got a few things to talk about. You know, Howie's still busy, still busy. Um, Dom should be in here shortly, but you know, the show must go on until he get here. So the first thing, of course, the biggest thing on the docket. Hey man, we added Hollywood Brown to the fold. Basil said he's been great. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Can't complain, man. You know, we still been here pushing out this content, growing the channel. We did hit 500 subs while you were gone. Um, Still climbing. I think we at like 518 right now, so still on the road to 1,000 subs. But you definitely are a huge part of that. You know, continuing to show up each and every week, and getting a phone call. Need to put that on D&D. Continuing to show up each and every week, and you know we're gonna keep pushing out this content. But when it comes to the Eagles move, the first one, like I said, Hollywood Brown is now an Eagle. So we signed him. He was drafted by the Ravens, and then I think he played for Arizona, and then made his way to Kansas City. Now he's an Eagle. What this means for us adding a player like Hollywood Brown to the fold. Obviously, we lost Jahan Dotson to the Falcons in free agency. Um, no shade to Jahan Dotson. Still a hell of a wide receiver in my opinion. Very underutilized here in Philly. Hopefully he can get an opportunity to be a two or maybe even a one in some cases. Hold on, keep getting a All right, we default check the mic. Hollywood Brown is a receiver that we picked up because of the loss of Jahan Dotson. Um, I think he provides speed to the Eagles. He's definitely a nice wide receiver three. I wouldn't want to count on him long term in anything other than the wide receiver three. So I don't think this has anything to do with the potential of moving AJ Brown after June 1st, which I do. I believe AJ is gone for all intents and purposes. I think AJ Brown is out the door. We just can't get rid of him until after June 1st because right now, if we were to trade him, the cap hit is going to be over 40 million. We wait till after June 1st, the cap hit will be 19 million. So that's just mad. We're not gonna get rid of him before then, simply because of the cap hit. Um, so when we when we got Brown, it was a no-brainer. Obviously, we lost Jahan Dotson, so that's replacing him. It still remains to be seen who else we're going to add to the wide receiver room. Does this mean we're going to go for a wide receiver in the draft? Maybe. I think, and I'll talk a little bit later about it, but we did get rid of Sidney Brown, which is a safety that we drafted a few years ago. Never really quite panned out to be starting caliber, but he was a hell of a special teams piece. We got rid of him in a trade with the Falcons, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. I want to get to the next move. The next move we had on the docket. Oh yeah, how did I forget? Welcome back, Dallas Goedert. So we decided to keep Dallas Goedert for another year. Obviously, the feeling was mutual. He didn't want to leave. We didn't want him to go anywhere. He's Dallas Goedert is one of those weird pieces, man, because he's very valuable in this offense. He was very productive last year, especially in the red zone. The only part of our offense worth talking about was our red zone offense. Our red zone offense was, at the top of the league, definitely top 10, maybe even top five. Um, he led the way with, I think he had 11 touchdowns last year. So when we looking at Goddard and his stock, I think his stock was as high as it had ever been, coming off of an 11 touchdown season. But he decided to stay here in Philly one more year. We welcome it because Dallas Goddard, when healthy, one of the best tight ends. I say he's a top 10 tight end. Talent wise, I would say he's probably top five, but it's not fair to put him in the top five of tight ends because of his health. He hasn't been healthy enough to be considered one of those top guys that you can depend on uh, time in and time out to play 17. There you go. There you go. What's
Yeah, I'm in the
good,
building.
Don?
What up with
Hey, you just in the middle of talking about a few additions. Of course, it's still Howie season, which is year round, but Mass Howie was able to keep Goddard around for another year. How you feel about that move of keeping Goddard on the squad?
you? Man, I loved it. We kind of talked about it on the last call. I said that if we didn't plan on one, I didn't like the fact that we didn't grab a tight end last year.
Right.
a young tight end, and two, I was also stating that if we didn't plan on trading for somebody or finding somebody great early in the draft, then we might as well keep Goddard. Like I don't really like that, that's a hard guy to replace. And we already
Hmm.
didn't have anybody on the roster. I trusted as much as Goddard, and they can do what Goddard did. Like outside of some untimely injuries, like Goddard is that guy. So I love the move. At this point, he might as well just stay an Eagle for the rest of his career. I mean, I don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I was agreeing with
yeah, he might as well just they might as well just let him be an Eagle for the rest of his career. But I don't know, like at the same time, I don't really mind the 1 year deal too, because it's like, bro, any little slip up, we done with you after this one year.
you.
Just keep
Hmm.
putting him on 1 year contract, bro. You gotta play your way into your next contract every year. But nah, but I do like keeping Goddard, man. That's my guy, and with us potentially probably trading AJ and new offensive coordinator and things of that nature. I like as much continuity on that side of the ball as possible, especially at that tight end position, because that you need somebody who gonna go out there and catch the ball, and somebody that's gonna go out there and be work for them and blocking.
Yeah. And Hurts like throwing on the ball. More importantly,
Right.
that's Hurts
Right.
guy. Is another guy that, like you said, we can count on. He's familiar with being in this offense, even though this offense is going to obviously change. Hopefully for the better this offseason. But with the addition, so we bring back Goddard for a year. We bring back Calcaterra for a year. And then we add a piece at tight end three, Johnny Munt. Now I don't know a whole lot about him. We signed him out of Jacksonville. All the reports that I'm hearing is that he is that dude when it comes to blocking. So it serves two purposes, right? So for one, it's another body in the tight end room, which you
Right.
already brought up that Dallas Goddard has health concerns from time to time. So love it from a depth standpoint, but we can also put him in three tight end packages if we want to go heavy and run that rock, run that tater. So I'm interested to see like what his blocking skills look like in this new offense and what he can bring to the table. Um, Shoot, he got to make the team first before we can see any of that. So, this is just that part of the season where it's not all about splashy moves because you got to build out a full roster, right? So I mean, we all would love for every move to be a 10, but we still need to build out a full roster. We need to build out the special teams. We need to build out, the third string, the second stringers. The team is a complete team is what wins the Super Bowl. So we in the process of building that. But I love that. The next move I want to talk about, I already talked about it a little bit before you got on, but how you feel about the addition of Hollywood Brown?
Oh man, hold on. Let me pull it back up on my screen. I had to do something real quick, but Hollywood Brown. I love the Hollywood Brown move just because we already need somebody. As right now we need a Jahan Dotson gone, so we need a third wide receiver and somebody who already can play well in the inside in the slot. So I think Hollywood is that guy. And like I said, we potentially moving AJ, so Hollywood might end up being like wide receiver two or something like that, or battling for one wide receiver two. Maybe him and somebody else, or maybe we go and get another guy. I don't know, but and I'm gonna keep saying that because I foresee AJ not being on his roster. I foresee
Yeah,
AJ not
I
being
think
on his.
it's
I
just a money
foresee,
thing at this point.
yeah. So but as of right now, I kind of speak on both. If AJ was still there some way, somehow, it's not impossible, but he'll be, the third wide receiver for sure. And if AJ is gone, he'll probably be battling for that two spot. But I like adding somebody like Hollywood, somebody that can stretch the defense, take the top off, take some eyes off Smitty. And if AJ there's somebody that's dangerous, you can get the ball to in space and they can make something happen with the ball. He can just take the top off the defense. He still got that speed. Um, but yeah, I ain't mad at it. I'm always for bringing in uh some great wide receiver, some good wide receiver help. Especially if it's a sturdy vet. So
Yeah, that's that move is gonna remain to be seen how important it is. Like you said, it we're gonna have to add another guy. Hopefully we don't go into it if we do trade AJ with the hopes of Cooper panning out to be what we hope he is, and we need to get another proven guy at that point. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. The next move is the addition of oh yeah, we traded for the Red Rocket man. Andy Dalton. Andy
no,
Dalton is coming over from the Panthers. Um, he probably gonna end up now. In my opinion, I feel like it may have something to do with maybe Tanner McKee has drawn some interest. Um, and we might be getting ready to ship him off if the price is right. The other thing is he could just be a camp on, and an insurance policy for if Hurts do get hurt at some point this season, he get promoted from 3 to 2, or maybe he beat out Tanner McKee in camp, and jump. How you feel about that move?
I ain't even know we made that move. But what's crazy is I heard somebody. Well, I ain't gonna say I heard somebody, but I seen a post of somebody saying something about we. People always talking crazy, so they talking about we just traded for Jalen's replacement. So I'm like, what the hell is they talking about? I never looked into it though, because for one, I already knew regardless of who they was talking about, it was some
It
BS.
was a joke, yeah.
So I didn't even. I was like, I ain't even gonna look into this. But so now I know who they was talking about. But yeah, I ain't mad at that move. We can always, use somebody else in that quarterback room anyway. Like you said, we could be getting ready to make a trade. Um, we could be getting ready to make a trade, or maybe he just somebody that's gonna come in and be on the roster, or have the potential to be on the roster. So I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, that's a solid move. Like I said, this every move not gonna be a home run. Every move ain't gonna be like a big splashy play. But at the end of the day, it's a move that helps us fill out the roster and add another body to camp potentially. So we also go out and we sign Damian Pierce, the running back from the Texans. Um, I for one, this is another one of them, depth pieces. I kind of like what we have from a running back depth standpoint. Obviously, we got Saquon. Obviously, we still got Tank Bigsby. But remember, AJ Dillon, he signed with AJ Dillon might have signed with the
Carolina.
yeah, he signed with the Panthers. That's who it is. So this could potentially be his replacement. Damian Pierce, which obviously means because we didn't really use AJ Dillon at all last year, which I was cool with because of it wasn't nothing really going right with the offense anyway outside of our red zone offense. But that's neither here nor there. This is just one. I do remember Damian Pierce going off maybe his first 1 or 2 years in the league with the Texans, but haven't really paid attention to his career much after that. So I don't know even if it's worth getting excited about it. I think it's just probably one of them, depth moves, one of them camp moves potentially. Um, that's a TBD on that one. So I don't hate the move because obviously we gonna keep preaching depth to the end of it. So um, the other move that I didn't talk about in the tight end room, we we uh we add Stone Smart to the tight end room. So he's a converted quarterback over the tight end. We getting him from the Jets. That was the last place he was before he came to us. Um, more the same, more the same. One of the moves that's not really sexy. As a matter of fact, I never heard bruh name until I saw it come across the screen as him being the Eagle. But the biggest news that happened today, though, we traded the Falcons um, Sidney Brown, man. Our dog, gone. He a safety that we got a few years ago. Special team demon headhunter. Showed tons of upside, but never he hadn't gotten the chance to. I'm not even gonna say he hadn't gotten the chance to. He hasn't developed into a starting safety as of yet. Now, when we talk about the pros of having a guy like Sidney Brown on the team, obviously he's well known for his hard hits. Um, he can be a hothead at times, but he brings that attitude that you want on the defense. Now, the downside to that is he wasn't that great in coverage. Um, Tend to put his head down too much and miss tackles in the open field, just coming in too hot. And he had a little bit of a injury history, so I really didn't see us giving him a second contract anyway. So I feel like this is one of the moves where we got something for him, because if we let him walk next year, we basically let him walk for nothing. So how you feel about losing Sydney?
Uh, I pretty much agree with everything you just said. I don't even know if I got anything else to say different other than reiterating what you just said. I
Now,
like I
what?
like Sidney Brown, but I understand the move.
Yeah, yeah, it makes sense. The only thing that um is a concern is that the room just got a little bit more empty. We already was lacking for a safety with Sidney Brown on the squad. Now even more so. So what this tells me is either we gearing up to add a safety out of free agency.
We just added a
Um,
safety.
who we added?
Somebody, I think his last name was I think his last name was Gray or something like that. But we re-signed Marcus Epps too.
Oh, good, good. I missed that. I missed that. That must have happened when I was away from my phone. But
I think
good, cause
I just saw it probably about an hour or two ago.
okay, so it happened today. Okay, so I ain't missed too much then. Um, we talked about that move last week about just going out and signing Marcus Epps. That made sense whether Sidney was on the team or whether he wasn't on the team, but it just made that much more sense to add the depth. I still think that we should. How you feel about taking the safety in the first round if one of our guys is there?
With it, we've been missing. It's been so many safeties we could have had took in the first
hmm
round, bro. Like
Hamilton,
Hamilton. Oh my God.
old boy from Georgia, Malachi Starks.
Yeah, Malachi Starks. Yep.
It was another one too. I'm drawing a blank on, but them
Man,
two were the
it's
ones.
been. I mean, even for a long time. Even when we wasn't that even the thing when we took BG.
Mhm. Mhm.
Oh boy, what's his name? That went to Seattle. So it's
Earl
been
Thomas.
we've been missing out on safeties in the first round for a minute, but we always seem to find our best safeties in the trade.
Mhm. Or free agency. Trade or free agency. So we'll see. That could be on the docket. Um, One thing for sure, I think we gotta do both. We gotta see what's left in free agency. We gotta draft a safety. But I missed that move. Us picking up Marcus Epps. I love the fact that we did that because we needed to. He was still a free agent, so unrestricted free agent at that. So that make all the sense in the world. Um, it's another unrestricted free agent that I was looking at. Oh, Big Fred. Big Fred still searching for a team. Um, we kind of covered that in a previous episode, but
Nah, he gonna have to come home. Come
yeah.
home, G. You might well go and come home, G.
Yeah, because out of all, I think it was like 4 or 5 unrestricted free agents, and at the top of that list was stuck out was Marcus Epps and Big Fred. Also, Ben Van Summeren was on the list. I'm not really tripping too hard about that one. But what he does add, obviously, he's a special teams player that could give us some fullback snaps and some linebacker snaps in a pinch. But I'm not really clamoring. If we do, we do. If we don't, I ain't tripping over that one. I didn't. Let me see if I can pull up this clip. I ain't get a chance to pull the clip up that I was talking about, but
But he ain't playing.
let me make sure that was all the moves. Yeah, that's pretty much all the big moves that we made this week. But
Hey,
how you feel about? Oh, yeah, question.
nah, I was just about to speak on that Pierce pickup that you kind of touched on.
Which one?
The running back Pierce.
Oh yeah, Pierce. Yeah,
Yeah, that's my guy. That's my guy. Hopefully he's still got some left in the tank, and is what I seen when he had some in the tank, because that boy was nasty.
he
So
was.
for
So
him to
by the
come over
season,
here and if he be in that running back room with Saquon and Tank, hey, that's a hell of a running back room right there, especially if he still got some juice. And I
mm,
and I feel like when you come to a place like Philly and you come to a place that got Saquon and Tank's Bigsby's duo, like you know what I'm saying, you gonna give all you got. So I think he'll be a great addition to that running back room and just the team in general. I like that pickup.
hopefully our offensive line get back on track. We got a new offensive line coach. Um, we still got some work to do. Whether we add a few pieces because we did lose guys like Brett Toth. We did lose Pryor, which they weren't huge losses, but they were depth. So we still got some work to do in adding them. I know last year we had a few young guys that were kind of like projects that we either drafted or picked up as a free agent, rookie free agent. So maybe we wait to see what they do. Hopefully we can get some guys in the draft. Though we at least need to get a tackle. We need to get a tackle in this draft. We need to get a tight end in this draft, and we need to get a safety in this draft. If we can hit those three at least, I'm good. Um, that's what come to mind as immediate needs for me, and maybe even a wide receiver. Depending on what we do once we get rid of AJ or what we get back for AJ. I just hate that we gotta wait till June to figure that out, cause that's gonna be lingering for a minute. We only in March. So you mean to tell me we gotta wait till June and possibly later?
Right.
Um,
And possibly end up with picks that's from next year's draft or something.
oh no, it's definitely gonna be next year because we're not gonna get rid of them until June because of the damn cap hit.
Right.
Unless somebody willing to give us like what we asking for in this
Right.
year's draft, because I
Exactly.
mean then that'll be worth it. If somebody come out and give us a one and a two in this 2026 draft, then I don't think we can turn that down. We just had to take that $40 million cap hit.
And I feel like had AJ not been doing what he been doing, we could have got what we wanted. But now people like, man, we already know bro trying to get up out of there. Ain't we? Hey, y'all ain't fooling us.
Now I'm still holding out hope that we can figure something out with Mad Max, but I heard something about the Raiders making his contract fully guaranteed. Let me see. No, I don't see anything else about it. He got 91. It's still 91 million guaranteed to him. As it's currently stated, we still, got the potential to make that trade for Mad Max, which we both are in agreement with that. If we I don't know how we'll do it. If it's just, gonna be a straight up AJ for Mad Max or however they do it, that makes sense to me. Maybe we trade AJ and a pick Maybe I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but make it happen, Howie. Make it happen. I just think
Hands
that's one of
laid,
them.
debt paid.
Huh?
Hands laid, debt paid.
But yeah, that I mean, we talk about that every week. That we if we end up landing a player like Mad Max and Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis and Jalen Hunt and Nolan Smith, that's a nasty combo.
Yeah.
Um, Bagel mentioned Alec Pierce. So Alec Pierce is a wide receiver that just got paid for the Colts. Um, how you feel about that move, Bagel? Since you brought him up, do you think the money was worth it? Did he or did he get you?
They let
Because
one of
now
their wide receivers go, didn't they?
I don't know.
One of that.
Oh yeah,
Well, they one.
Pittman.
Pittman, yeah.
They traded Pittman to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so they got rid of Pittman and paid Alec Pierce. So Bagel, if you still in here, let me know how you feel about them two moves right there for old Danny Dimes. That I don't think he's gonna be ready for the beginning of the season, but he just got a deal too. He says, "I love him, but unsure of the money." Same for Jones. I feel like with Jones, and it's probably the same for Alec Pierce. That's just the market. I don't think it was huge money, but it was. They wouldn't have gotten that money in other cases. So I mean, they hit the market at the right time. It was one of them things where you couldn't really uh control how the market fell, but you know, Daniel Jones came out and had a what? Did he play like 8 games? He had a good 8 game stretch, so half a season. He had half a season where he did his thing, earned 2 additional years, and we'll just have to see. Hopefully, he can bounce back from the injury and continue his upward trajectory of being a starting quarterback in this league. Alec Pierce, he's had some injury concerns too, but he is one of the top deep threats in the league. You can't take that away from him. He just got to stay healthy and earn his money. Um, y'all still need to do something. I think y'all still got Downs on the squad. Um, I think y'all probably need to make another move. Hey, if y'all now y'all don't even have no first round draft pick. Y'all gave him up for Sauce Gardner. So we can't do no business with AJ unfortunately. Um so that's dead. I was about to say we got a number one wide receiver if you want him, but nah, y'all can't do that because y'all ain't got the draft capital. Um it was one more move. One more move.
Shoot, they got a safety over there.
Do they got a safety?
Matter of fact, they don't even need no safety. What's the old boy name that play in the slot for them?
Oh, you talking about Kenneth? Uh, I know who you talking about because
Yeah.
that's who I thought we traded for initially, but it ended up being
So what I would do, I'm gonna go ahead and hit them up. I give y'all AJ. Give us it might be Kenny Moore or something like that.
that's
Give
it.
us
That's it.
give us Kenny Moore. Give us Kenny Moore. And God doggone, we gonna take Kenny Moore. They can work out the fine details on the other picks and stuff that need to be involved. But you give us Kenny Moore. We gonna bring Kenny Moore over here and we gonna put him in the slot. We gonna move Coop to safety and we good.
Damn. Yeah. Well, there you have it. Kenny Moore. That's who we talking about. Yeah, 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 yeah.
and
Go ahead and put in a good word for us, Bagel.
then and then and then Coop gonna mess around. What did Coop get this year? All pro?
yeah.
And he gonna get an all pro at safety. And then they gonna be like, man, the Eagles got everybody. They got Coop
they
at safety, Kenny Moore in the slot, Reed Woolen on the outside. I'm trying to tell you, man. Go ahead, Howie. Hit up the coach. Get Kenny Moe. I call him Kenny Moe. It ain't more. It's Kenny Moe. It's Kenny Moe. And get Kenny Moe, and we're gonna bring him over here, and we're gonna do what we do. I don't already. Howie. You see how quick I came up with that, Howie?
That's
I'm
the
sitting over
offer.
here like I'm sitting over here like they ain't got no first round pick, but they might have some.
That's the offer. That's the offer right there. So go
Yeah,
ahead and
cause
put in
I want them to know I'm from around the way. I'm leaving here with something.
and some picks. Not straight up. We need some picks too. But that's that's one that's got to come back off of that AJ trade.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, Kenny Moe for AJ Brown. We already trading them. Might as well get something we need.
Right.
See, this is what people. So this be the bad thing about trades though. Or potentially you got fans out there that don't see the vision, so they looking at the actual like straight up trade like Kenny Moe for AJ. Not when Kenny Moe come over here and hold that slot down. We put Coop at corner. We're gonna have to go get another wide receiver regardless. So it really
Yeah.
that didn't even really matter. So you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to trade AJ for something that we need. That we can go get a Max Crosby or go get a safety, or go get somebody that can go in the slot and allow Coop to go to safety because he gonna play the hell out of safety too.
Yeah, I like that. I hadn't even thought about that
You thought about
when
what?
Kenny Moore, because when I was going through my list of potential trade candidates, I was weeding out teams uh off the bat who didn't have no first round draft capital.
Yeah, I've been trying
But
to think of who we can trade them for the whole time. I'm like, shit. I've been thinking about defensive players.
hmm
Um,
because like you said, it's a foregone conclusion. I know it's a we kind of split as a fan base, just like we are on everything. It's a
man,
certain population who feel like, no, we can't get rid of AJ. He a number one. Blah blah blah. We not saying that AJ is not a top tier wide receiver. It's what come with him that we don't want. We
yeah,
tired.
listen,
We tired of what come with him.
bro, cancer to the whole team. He just cancer to the body, man. You got to get somebody like that out of the org, man.
For real. Because I
Cancer to
mean,
the body.
all right. So I was probably. I mean, you was too, but I think you was fed up before me. So we let the Super Bowl season play out. Obviously, it ended up with us in the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl. Cool. Then we come back that next year, which was last year, and I think the Super Bowl year was the year he was on the sideline with the book, whatever. We got over that. Then we win the Super Bowl. You know, he come out with his remarks about it didn't feel like he thought it would feel. Um, he loved the process of beating DBs and taking their wheel and yada yada yada. Okay, cool. Then 25 season pop off. Obviously, we got a new offensive coordinator. Things ain't clicking how they supposed to click. He get off to a bit of a slow start, a super slow first half of the season. And then he just go into like pout mode. Saying little things here and there. In somewhere in that process, I think you was fed up before me. But me personally, I think when I had enough was the Vikings game. So we was going through our rough patch of trying to find our way offensively, and then we get to the Vikings game, and the Vikings defense at the time was the number one passing defense. So that was a big story about us being a struggling offense as it is and going up against the number one passing defense. We go out there and torch them. Hurts have a game. uh Smitty go off for almost 100 yards, or he might have had 100 yards. AJ get over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, and one of the touchdowns I think was like the game-winning touchdown, or ended up being the game winner. And then as soon as the game over with, he gonna throw up a tweet that said using me but not using me. And then on top of that, to make things worse, uh, he wasn't mic'd up, but they heard him on the mic when he scored the touchdown, talking jump basically. So he was just in this. He wore his welcome out. Long story short, he wore his welcome out. Um, hopefully, it don't things don't get too messy. We can go ahead and get him out of the building before things even really get started. I hate that we even gotta wait till June. That's why I was hoping that somebody just pulled the trigger before the draft, because now we got to drag this thing out after the draft. But we gotta attack the draft as if he's not there, just in case we do go ahead and move him some. Okay. Um, we gotta move as if he's not on the team, just in case. Either he pull more shenanigans. But do you remember the moment where you was kind of fed up with AJ, or was it just everything building?
Nah, I was cool with everything that he did last year, as in the season we just went to the Super Bowl. I was cool with everything he did that season. I was cool up until this past season when when I can't remember I can't remember which game it was, but it was like he had put I think he had put a tweet up or something, or he went on nah, matter of fact, was it the Rams game? But the Rams game was what was the first game? No, it was the Dallas game. Then we had it might have been the Rams game or something. I don't know, but all I know is it was like two things back to back. I feel like one week he put up a tweet, and then the next week he acted like he was gonna be quiet about it, and then he ended up going on Buddy podcast, the Washington Janky Rondo. He ended up going on
Hmm.
Janky Rondo thing like he was going on there to play the game with Buddy. But bro, all that was calculated. Bro went on
Hmm.
there and didn't say that because I guess somebody had said something to him about probably not putting them tweets up or whatever. So he tried to take it as in, all right, well, I ain't gonna put a tweet up, but I'm gonna go on somebody else's platform and say what I wanted to say in the tweet. So that's how he kind of tried to play it. So I'm like, bro. So when I seen him do that back to back, I was like, yeah, I'm done with bro. And that's when I kind of realized I was like. I was like, yeah, one, he don't want to be here no more because the season just started. It ain't no reason
Right.
for you to be like upset about
Out.
nothing. The season just started, bro. And then for you to put up the tweet that you was putting up, and then turn around and do the same thing the next week, like you basically throwing the team under the bus. I'm like, what dude got going on? Like he really on some other stuff right now. Like so, um. Yeah, that was kind of the moment for me when he had them little two moments back to back. And by the time he continued that little stretch for a while, but hell, I was already over him by then. Cause as soon as he did that, that's when I started questioning, like, cause when he that previous season when he had the book on the sideline and all that, I'm like, I wasn't really tripping on it, cause as soon as they find out about it, he like, bro, I had the book on the sideline the whole season. Y'all just not seeing it. So I'm like, I bet, that sounds solid. I ain't tripping on it. And he's still out there doing what he supposed to be doing. Outside of that, he wasn't really saying nothing crazy. And then the
Right.
media, and then one thing I didn't like about the media though, by him doing what he had did previous year, like when that year before that, when him and Jalen got into it on the sideline and all that, and he had said a couple things in the media. What I didn't like about that, fast forward to this season, you could tell they was trying to bait him into answering certain questions and saying stuff. I was like, even the media trying to get him to say, and he up here, I ain't gonna say he falling for it, but because he
He
knew what was
falling
up
for
too.
it.
He knew what was up, so he just taking that opportunity to make it like, oh, the media asked me that question. I kind of said what was on my mind, and then it was one time the media talked to him and he was voicing his opinion. They was like, well, did you talk to the coaches about that? He was like, nah, but they know now. So basically, you ain't said nothing to the damn coaches. You waited to say it to the media. Like you scared to say it to the coaches and stuff like that. Like the stuff he was doing was just kind of like a little female-ish to me. It's like it just kind of seemed like he needed to say that stuff on social media. You can just tell he's like he needed to say it on a platform where
Yeah,
everybody
he
can
was
see it.
venting.
Like
He was venting.
he didn't want to do none of that stuff behind the scenes. He was making it a point. So at that point, that's when I was like, oh, he out of here. He don't care nothing about throwing Jalen under the bus. He don't care nothing about throwing the rest of the team and the coaches under the bus. And then something else that rubbed me the wrong way too was it was an interview or something he was doing, and they was asking him about Jalen, about the people, about stuff that Jalen be saying in response to his criticism in the media, and AJ was kind of, this was like during the offseason right after they won the Super Bowl, and to me, even when I first saw that, I was like, dang, why? Because AJ, he kind of was like downplaying it. Yeah, we be telling Jalen, why he like, bro, why you acting like that? Like like he basically was downplaying it. And I'm like, bro, you the same dude who was saying you was talking about committing suicide and this and that and whatever. Like, how can you not look at Jalen? Look at stuff from Jalen point of view as well. Like people talking to him in the media, whether it's true or not. Like, or if he need that as fuel, he need that as fuel. But he basically was trying to make it seem like it was a problem that Jalen be addressing certain things in the media, after wins or after, maybe somebody asks him about it or whatever, or he might just be addressing it to the team in a way where like what he addressing is stuff that's being said in the media or by other coaches or something like that. And
Right.
I ain't like the way AJ was downplaying it like it wasn't nothing. I was
Like
like, dang,
one valid, yeah.
yeah, like it just like when it didn't matter, like why Jalen taking it like that. I'm like, bro, you talking? Like, so I'm like, that's crazy. It's crazy for him to be the type of person that he is and then try to look at Jalen's situation differently. Like he should be handling his situation different. Like that was crazy to me. And then for him to go on past that and then start doing what he was doing early in the season, that's what made me look back on last year with the book and all that. I was like, oh, that really was something then. And then, on top of what you were saying, when he put out the tweet after the Super Bowl and all that, I was like, yeah, bro, he on some other stuff
Like
right now.
all of that together.
Yeah, yeah, all that together, like just kind of just, I was just like, yeah, I'm done with bro, because I was taking up for Buddy until then. Then I was started, I was like, yeah, some up with dude. And then after that, he couldn't even do no right in my eyes. Bro could have saved a baby from a burning building. I'd have been like, nigga ain't shit.
Like you said, I think the most collateral damage in the whole thing was just how Hurts got blamed for that. Like they basically saying that he was going on how he was going on because Hurts not a good quarterback. And the people that hate Hurts gonna use something like that against him
Exactly.
when the whole
And the
time
problem
it
that
ain't
I
got
had
nothing to
with it
do with
is
Hurts.
he know that.
Right.
Like what they gonna turn around and turn this into. Like I'm like, that's crazy for you to just disregard. Like, yeah, they gonna take my words and turn it into like Jalen. Like I honestly think that's what he wanted to happen.
Probably.
But yeah, I'm done with dude. And I seen something on I seen a post on social media today, and it was about AJ. I can't remember what the caption was or whatever, but I remember in the comments, man, it was a good bit of people talking about some, until I see AJ come out his mouth and say he want out and he want out of this team. I still want to keep him here, but if he want to go somewhere else, I'm with that. But I mean, whatever he want. But until I see it come out his mouth, then like I think we should keep him. I'm like, bruh, why would he
Well, that's
come out
smart.
his mouth? Like people just don't be thinking. Why would he come out his mouth? I'm sure he done had a talk with the team. They know he don't want to be there. They probably don't want him there either. They probably, you know what I'm saying? In situations like that, you have a conversation. All right, well, boom, make sure you stay out the media saying this and that or whatever. We're gonna try to go ahead and move you. It's in the best interest, because if you go out here saying this, it's gonna be hard for us because we got certain kind of capital we want to get for you. But if you go out here talking crazy, teams gonna look at that a certain type of way, and it's gonna be stuff they ain't willing to give us because they gonna already know you trying to get up out of there. So it's best for both of us to go out here and talk good in front of the media, but behind the scenes, I'm trying to trade you or whatever. I'm saying that's what this conversation he probably had with his agent. Then the agent go have a
Right.
conversation with AJ or whatever. But so that's why I'm like, people crazy. Like y'all really think the man gonna come out his mouth and just go ahead and put that out? Why would he do that? That's dumb. Like what? I don't know why people think that they know everything that's going on in a facility And if it ain't said in the media or online, then it don't exist. Y'all know, like these people really got like business going on behind the scenes. Like I don't know what they think really like going on inside the building. Like they think they know everything. It's crazy to me how people think they why when he come out his mouth and bro, why would he come out his mouth and say that? Not right now. You don't come out your mouth and say that until it look like the team ain't doing what they supposed to be doing. If it get later in the season, it's getting ready to go to camp, and bro, like, nah, I ain't trying to go to camp. I ain't trying to play for y'all. That's when you start probably trying to make a little scene or something, but not now. I don't know what people got going on.
But like you said, it's a lot of people speculating. It's that time of the season where like it ain't no games being played, so all that's really left is like the drama and the hearsay and rumors. Of course we got the draft coming up, but that's still a little ways away. We had that part of the season where, um, like we said on the last clip, people just be pulling stuff out they behind, making up things. But I got this clip that I want to play. I finally got it loaded, so hopefully it play.
The Eagles right now have been operating with an embarrassment of riches from offensive talent. If you already have Saquon and you just kept Goddard and you have Devontae Smith, you can trade A.J. Brown and not be like, well, if we don't have another top flight receiver, what are we going to do? You're going to be in the position a lot of teams wish they could be in.
Except at quarterback.
What do you mean?
I mean, do you think Jalen Hurts is going to make that offense better?
I think Jalen Hurts is better than Bo Nix. And we just laid all these flowers at the feet of.
You don't think
Jalen Hurts is better than Bo Nix?
Did you see how he threw the ball last year?
I saw him. I saw him. We can't do it. We can't. We got to go to touchdown.
Did you see how?
That's one of them things that you gotta unpack in segments. But obviously it's about what we gonna do with AJ. But Hurts took the brunt of that. So the first thing that he talks about is the first thing that he talks about is basically Hurts not being a good quarterback. Now, we didn't already laid out how we feel about Hurts and what he brings to the league and how other people feel about him. Most recently, Hollywood Brown, say he throw one of the best deep balls in the league, if not the best deep ball in the league. But how you feel about that clip?
First off, we've been saying that for like the last 2, 3 seasons. Hurts got the best
Yeah,
deep ball in the league. I mean, that's what's up. We know that's what's going on. But and then as far as that clip, like you were saying when we talked about it, like it's funny that we actually sided with Nick on this. Like
right.
Nick's an Eagles fan on the same side. Like what the hell going on? But I'm also glad that because a lot of times. A lot of them be just saying stuff for views and clicks and stuff like that, or they just trying to defend previous narratives or their narratives or whatever. So for him to keep it real right there, that's what's up. So, but at the same time, the other dude that said the bull jive, whatever his name is, he
Danny Parkin.
what's his name?
Danny Parkin.
Yeah, oh my god. That's what this dude. But anyway. But anyway, so I think I don't, bro, just he knew I've been saying this. These people know if you say something negative about the Eagles, even if you throw it in a quick little jab like that, that little one piece of clip, that him saying that gonna make that whole clip go,
Hmm.
somewhere viral, especially through football and the NFC East community. So, no, that I think a lot of them guys do that, and that's how they stay relevant. That's how they get they followers and fans and clicks up or whatever. So I think he knew what he was doing from that standpoint. And I I don't like the fact that I do like how Broussard them responded. They was like, "Well, I saw him in the Super Bowl," because that's what we always go to. Like whenever you having a conversation about guys who've been to Super Bowls and won Super Bowls, usually they be they give those dudes some grace and they make sure they bring up their accolades. So I'm glad they did that for Hurts because normally they don't even try to bring up that Hurts did or whatever. But I'm glad they responded in the way that they did. Was like, well, I saw him in the Super Bowl, basically letting y'all know that, bruh, you talking about he can't throw. We seen a man uh become the Super Bowl MVP. He'd been to two Super Bowls and basically was the MVP of both of those. Should have won. Should be the two-time Super Bowl champ, two-time MVP. But it is what it is. Um, and I think, bro, I think he on the borderline of hating and trying to get clicks and views. That's where I think he at with it. That's why I don't really like watching them dudes because you don't really know when they telling the truth, like how they really feel. Because all of this stuff is a business, and if they know something going help them out, that's what they gonna stick with it. Especially if it's going against somebody else, what they talking about.
Yeah, but then for him to say that how he threw the ball last year, as if what was he?
Yeah, that's
He made
crazy
it seem
too.
like he was throwing the ball in the stands or something
Yeah,
on every play. And
yeah,
then
I don't get it.
when we look at the stats, like he had one of his better statistical seasons. I think he threw for like over 3,700 yards. Um, might have had a career high in touchdowns or close to it. Interceptions down as usual. Really just cerebral. Another matter of fact, that.
I think this another reason why I think we got to get AJ out of there. With a new offensive coordinator, a new offensive line coach, and no AJ, I think we gonna see I think you'll see the offense
Grow.
I think you'll see it be more fluid.
Yeah, I agree with that because sometimes it is addition by subtraction when the toxicity ain't there no more. Um, two big things that's gonna help with that is obviously we should be able to shake things up in the run game and not be as predictable. And obviously, the run game marries with the pass game. So we're bringing in Sean Mannion. He got some of that LaFleur, McVay, um, Shanahan type running system that kind of the run marrying the pass, and it'll allow Hurts to not have to focus on one player, which is ideal. He can go ahead and just hit the open man. That's why I feel like it was important for us to bring Goddard back for another year. Add an addition like Hollywood Brown and allow Smitty to eat because we already know that Smitty a number one wide receiver. If we don't get the chance to add let's just say we don't get the chance to add another Jahan Dotson to the team because I think the Hollywood Brown move is comparable to the talent that we would get from a Jahan Dotson. So if we can add another caliber on that level, I think we'll be fine. We don't necessarily need a bona fide top five receiver for this offense to be successful.
I agree. We just need somebody. We just need somebody else that's solid. That's why I like you said, the Hollywood Brown pickup, and I think we just need one more guy, or if somebody we already got step up like Cooper
Right.
or something like
Cooper.
that. And he seemed like he got the potential. He kind of remind me of AJ. Not
Mm-hmm.
quite as big, but he kind of remind me.
Mm-hmm.
If he continue to develop, I think that's a nice little addition right there. I'm interested to see what he do. Hopefully he stay healthy throughout camp, because I hate when them young guys get hurt doing camp and then they don't get a full camp with the offense and Jalen or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But if he can make it through camp and we can see what he can really do, I can see him earning the second or third wide receiver spot. If he developed a little bit more. But he seemed like he had it last year, so even just that. But we still need to go pick up somebody else. And like
Right.
you said, it ain't got to be nobody that's like a top. It ain't got to be AJ. You know what I'm saying? Somebody on AJ Brown level. Because I think with the rest of the offense and Hurts able to do what he gonna be able to do and what he can do, I think we'll be straight. Because we just seen Jalen. We done seen Jalen. Run the offense before AJ got there.
All right. So let me throw some names out here. Jawan Jennings from the 49ers. He available right now.
I like Juwan Jennings. I always been a Juwan Jennings fan.
I
I like
think he
Juwan
might
Jennings.
fit. I think he might fit that build of not necessarily top wide receiver, but
He
what we
reliable
would
though.
need. Yeah, yeah.
Outside
Um,
outside of injuries, he reliable like hands wise and on the field.
Debo Samuel,
Nah, nah. I ain't.
Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, I'll take a Stephon Diggs. Now you know what? I don't know what you're getting with Stephon Diggs. I'm on the fence on that one.
Well, one thing he gonna give you something like AJ, but the production is there too. I don't think it may be not as bad as AJ because he can see that he on the downward trajectory of
That's what
his
I'm
career,
saying.
right?
I feel like he not the old Stephon that we know, but it's still there a little bit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
It's still in there a little bit,
But
but
that's why I say I'm on the
he's still
fence because
producing.
that's exactly what I was thinking. Because he ain't really, you know what I'm saying? He ain't really was doing too much with the Patriots. He just had a lot of personal life stuff going on, which I ain't tripping on none of that.
Tyreek Hill
Tyreek Hill.
coming off of ACL,
Nah,
but available.
I'm good on Tyreek.
Keenan Allen still available.
Keenan Allen. See, I like Keenan Allen, but bro be hurt.
Yeah. He not on the reliable side when it comes to being available.
Yeah, I ain't. If he was healthy, and even though he a little bit older, I would get him, but I wouldn't even waste time because I feel like he'll be down the stretch. We'll be somewhere on the doggone cart.
Yeah. So if we end up
I take
shipping,
Ju Out of all them, I take Juwan Jennings.
that's what I was about to ask you. Out of all of them, out of the top wide receiver free agents left, sound like you was leaning toward Jawan Dennis. I'd
Yeah, I
be
take.
cool because that's literally what we just laid out, where he one of them dependable wide receivers, not considered one of the top wide receivers, but he can fit in what we trying to build this season, this off season.
I think I probably would take Diggs too. I think I probably would take Diggs
They
too.
still got something in the tank, and we
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
need
he
him to be a
definitely.
number one.
Oh, I know he got something left in the tank. I'm thinking about doggone
The
personality.
other shit.
Yeah, but I think he'll be straight, especially if he like on a 1 year deal. Yeah, I think I would take his Diggs on the 1 year deal.
over Jennings or just
Let me see. I think I got him even. I'm gonna
I
go
think
even on that.
I would go dig Jennings, but just slightly, cause he do come with some extra stuff, and it's a reason why um New England ain't spin the block on them, even though they just went to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm about the same on him. I take either one. Like if Howie was like, "Hey, what you want?" I'm like, "Hey, it's on you, Howie. Hey, man, however you want to call it. I'm I'm 50% on both of them."
Yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, that's all we have for tonight, man. We still on how we watch. It's still some moves that we would like to see. Obviously, every day, every minute, every hour that AJ is still a Philadelphia Eagle is gonna be something to talk about. So we're gonna have more on the latest and greatest from all the Eagles news throughout the week and some important moves that just happened in the NFL in general that we can chop up. But we'll be right back next week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here. Make sure y'all smash that like button, drop a few comments, and as always, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. And we can't forget to hit you with a Go Birds.